I am the freak storm. I am the freak accident. I am God. I've made a lot of videos and I've explained a lot of things, and people don't watch my videos mostly. There's not very many people who watch it. One or two maybe, if any. But yeah, no, I'm making a video because I really feel like talking. I really feel like talking about lots of different things. I mean, I'm God, you know. I just want to talk about all the things that are going on in the world, things I'm thinking about, whatever, right? I just feel like having a chat. So if you didn't watch my last video, which is called I Am England's Only Hope, I suggest you watch that, or my older videos, whatever, right? So, first things first. Gotta have my morning cigarette. Yeah. So look, I want to talk about some things. Yeah. What did I mean? I mean, I am the freak storm. Well, look, I've been trying to explain to people, I am God. I am the serpent on the pole. I am the one you have to pay attention to, otherwise snakes will come after you. They will destroy you. Because I'm God. Looking at me, this is the path to life. Okay? If you're looking somewhere else, you're on the path to death, destruction. Okay? I've explained that before. That's the situation. It's by design. Eventually, someone will catch on. They'll be like, oh. They'll get it. They'll understand. They'll be like, all right. Yeah. Anyway, let's have a talk about what happened. So, I was explaining, I am Thor, the god Thor, the god of thunder. Well, I was given a crown of thorns. Okay. I've explained the power of words, magic, words, how it works in relation to me, God. I am the word. You see? But everyone else wants to absorb my power. Everyone's trying to absorb my power through their wicked tongues, their wicked speech. Yeah, that's what people do. Influenced by foul demons. Anyway, I was talking about I am the freak storm. Well, people have labeled me a freak, haven't they? So, freak accident, freak storm. Yeah. Whatever, right? Excuse me, I'm a bit phlegmy this morning. Whew. Excuse me. So that's the thing, right? So if you know anything about the rail strikes that are happening in this country, I live in England. Keir Starmer, he just made a deal with train drivers to increase their pay by 15% or whatever it is. And there's that rail union guy. He's called Mick Lynch. And he talks about rail strikes. Well, is railway strikes. We're talking about lightning strikes, thunder strikes, freak storms. And then there was the rich billionaire guy, the entrepreneur, Mike Lynch, who was on his yacht. And there was the water spout, and a storm. And strangely, his yacht sank. No one seems to really know why it sank, but yeah. You know, it's just really interesting, isn't it? So you got Mike Lynch and you got Mick Lynch. Yeah, and then you know what's happened. So in the news yesterday, they were talking about Jermaine Jenners. You know, he's a radio. You know, he's a BBC radio. Well, he's a BBC sports guy, and he's like an ex-footballer. You know, he's in some sort of texting scandal. Yeah, you know, his name is Jermaine, but it looks like, you know, you could pronounce it Germany, couldn't you? And then, you know, what happened in Germany? Well, several people have been stabbed in Germany. Yeah, you see, there's a thing. There's a magic war going on. This is what's happening, and I've tried very, very hard to explain this is what's happening, but people are blind, people are deaf, people are stupid. You see, the thing is there's a war. You know, it talks about in the book of Revelation, says there was a war in heaven. The whole point of magic is to acquire power. It's a power struggle in terms of magic. And magic can be through words, alchemy, things, events, stories, music, art, alchemy. Okay? People have very little knowledge about these things. There was a time when I didn't know about this kind of stuff. I had to learn it. I had to. It's a lot to take in, isn't it? It really is. And that's the problem. People are like, they just switch off. Well, that's the thing. Their brains were never switched on in the first place. They were, you know. But that's the thing. People just say, next, 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 next. Well, you know, people miss the opportunity to live. Whatever, right? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Anyways. Ooh. Whew. See, the thing is that man and woman, right, they want to decide who God is and what God is and what's his name and what's his story. That's not how it works. Dumbasses. That's not how it works. I'm God. I have my story. I know my story. I know my name. Apparently I have thousands of names. Thousands and thousands and thousands of names. Yeah, well, whatever. There is only one, and that's me. So, I wanted to talk about various things. What can we talk about? Yeah, so that's the thing, right? So that yacht, it went down, the Bayesian, right? So it sank. So the thing is that, you know, well, I had an uncle-in-law called Barry. He used to own a yacht company. He used to build motor yachts. He had a sailing boat. I've been on that sailing boat when he used to live in Guernsey. Yeah. I've done a bit of sailing. I once did sailing lessons when I was, you know, a young boy in Cornwall for a holiday. But apart from that, you know, I don't do a lot of sailing. Yeah, it's never really been my thing. Anyways, the Pazian is sank, okay? So it's a freak accident, it's a freak storm, you know, they got hit by that water spout, you know, the unsinkable yacht sank. And people freaked out, you know, the news can't stop covering it. They just talk, they don't, you know, they just want to go on and on and on about it. And the other thing is, you know, what was, you know, so Mike Lynch, he was involved in a fraud trial with HP, the company HP. You know, he sold his company Autonomy to HP. And the thing about HP is, well, HP represents the year I was born. I was born in 1987. H is 8, P is 7 in numerology. Okay, 87. But anyway, and obviously, you know, you could say I'm Archangel Michael, you know, Mike, you know, and I'm posting links, link, you know, I'm posting thousands and thousands of links. Yeah, you know, and guys spray their underarms with links, you know, what's the links? Anyway, look, the thing sank, the boat sank. And what was it? The other guy, you know, one of his partners that used to work with, you know, he was also in the fraud trial as well. And they got, they won their trial. They got away with, you know, they got away with it, right? Or so they thought. And that, you know, one of the guy, he was out jogging, right? And he was hit by a Vauxhall Corsa. Which is interesting because there's quite often there's a Vauxhall Corsa that parks near my car. Actually, I'd say it's in the spot it shouldn't really be parked in, but it is what it is. I kind of stopped thinking about it, to be honest. But anyway, Vauxhall Corsa ran over some jogger. He died within hours of the Pazian sinking. And you know, it's funny, I was watching Dr. Todd Grande on YouTube. I was watching his video and he was talking about it, and he just called it a coincidence. Yeah, it was just a coincidence. Yeah. It's always a coincidence, isn't it? It's funny that, isn't it? Strange, isn't it? You know, what are the odds? So the unsinkable yacht sinks, and then Mike Lynch's partner in crime gets hit by a Vauxhall Corsa pretty much the same day and dies. Yeah. Very strange, huh? Very strange. The thing is I understand a lot about magic, the words, the stories, what's it talking about. It's very deep. It's very hard to talk about and explain. You know, the thing is that if I told you everything I knew and understood, your head would probably explode. It's, you know, we could be here for a very, 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 very long time. We really could. And the thing is, it's, you know, it's very, very complex to try to explain it. You know, that's the thing, you know, Michael Lynch had a daughter called Hannah. You know, if you listened to my channel before, then you'll know that I speak about Rihanna a lot, and who she is and what involvement she has with all this shit. Okay? I've spoken about her many, many times. I'll leave it at that. Okay, so Rihanna or Hannah. Yeah, look, this is the thing. I live in a world that is basically trying to drown me. You know, a world that wants to smother me. It wants to leave me at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. You know, that's basically what the world wants to do to me. Okay, the world wants to leave me in the dark depths. Yeah, well, that's basically what the world ever tries to do to me. It tries to pretend to be me, and it leaves me in a horrible place where I don't belong. And it's funny, isn't it? Because, you know, people say, why would God want to send anybody to hell? Why would God want to send anyone to the lake of fire for eternity? Well, if you were standing in my shoes, you'd understand why. If you really knew my perspective on things, you wouldn't question it. You'd be like, wow, yeah, they do deserve it. They do fucking deserve it. You know, from my perspective, I mean, if you were in my shoes, you'd probably look at everyone like leeches, like parasites. For the most part, yeah. For the most part, blood-sucking parasites. And that's about it. The thing is, you know, I spoke yesterday in my previous video. I talked about blessings, you know. It's easy for, you know, people to come, you know, across in a dinghy, across to England and be like, hey, it's nice here. Yeah, you know, you got money. Yeah, it's cool, great. You know, hotel, food, accommodation. You know, someone from the council will come around and wipe your arse for you. Whatever, right? Amazing, you know. It's easy to say that you like being blessed, you know. Oh, I like being blessed. Yeah. Yeah. Well, duh. That's the thing. I bless the world. I bless people, but they don't love me. They don't know where their blessings come from. They don't recognize what their blessings are. Because the thing is, if their blessings were all taken away, and they will be, they are being removed. That's the thing. Their blessings are being taken away. People still don't, they're still not quite able to comprehend what it looks like without those blessings. Yeah, well, I suppose you could look at, you know, yeah, look at some parts of the world where, you know, you have people who starve to death. People have no water, they have no food. War, famine, disease. Well, I guess that, you know, yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, right? You know, if you're a dad and you have children, and you want to buy gifts for your children, you want to give them things, you want to provide them with things, and that help them, that are useful to them and stuff. But if that child turns against you and hates you, and there's going to be situations where you're like, well, I can't really give you stuff, I can't do, you're sort of, you have to teach the child how to behave, because they have destructive behavior. You can't reward bad behavior. You know what I mean? Like, rewarding bad behavior makes things worse. You understand how that works? Well, it's a similar situation, except, well, it is what it is, right? So I'm God, and I'm a very lonely person. I have spirits with me. But I'm not able to talk to human beings. Human beings are, people who are alive in physical bodies. Waste of time, it seems. Total waste of time. All the bad stuff that's going on in the world, every time you see a plane crash, or you see a war, or you see a massacre, or a murder, or disease, poverty, all the things that are going on in the world, you have to understand, I am central to all of it. Okay? I am central to everything. It's hard to comprehend. It's difficult to understand, but I really am. It all has to do with magic, energy, flow, how in the spiritual realm, in spiritual realm, I am the center. I am the light of the spiritual realm. And people who don't even believe in God, they don't believe in me, they believe, in cars and sex and money and fun and drugs and whatever, right? They just, yeah, worship themselves, worship other people. They're always doing wicked, evil witchcraft, and they would rather I didn't exist. That's the thing. They're surrounded by foul spirits. It's a war. There's a war going on. It's impossible for me to lose. It's impossible for me to lose. Things can either go, the way things happen, so it'll either be people realize who I am, and that will improve the situation for those who listen to me and those who watch me. The situation will improve. We will move forward with that. But as long as people aren't listening to me or watching me, terrible things are going to happen. The world will suffer. People will suffer. Those who don't love me will suffer. Okay? It's a very, it's simple and it's complicated at the same time. I'm like Dr. Evil. Okay? I'm basically like, think of me as Dr. Evil, I'm this guy. Okay? I'm like, I want what I want. Okay? You ever give it to me, or you don't. I ever get what I want. If I get what I want, then people will be blessed. If I don't get what I want, people will be cursed. And that's exactly the situation. Okay? That's how it is. Alright? Anyway, I said this video, I want to just talk about whatever, right? I think it's really interesting, all this, looking at the government, looking at all the shit they're doing, and, Keir Starmer, and, all this, people, all the, electric vehicle stuff going on as well, and you know, I mean, obviously it's a bit random. I've been watching these EV videos, you know, people talking about how shit their electric cars are, you know, how shit they are, you know, the range is crap and charging them's a pain in the ass. They're really expensive. I think it's quite funny, really. I mean, the entire idea, you know, global warming and climate change. It's like, what do you think causes the, you know, what do you think changes the weather? Who do you think that, you know, I'm God, I'm in charge of it all. You know, when you see a flood, when you see landslides, when you see hurricanes and thunder and lightning and all that stuff, and when, you know, yeah, who do you think it is? What do you think causes it all? What do you think causes it all? People want to believe it's cars. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. You know, how people still believe that shit. But that's the thing. What happened was, you know, Al Gore, he put out some bullshit documentary about how carbon dioxide has some sort of correlation with heat. And, you know, obviously they just pick the part of the chart, you know what I mean? They just take a snip, they cherry pick the data and then say, here, look at this. You know, there's a correlation. And it's like, you know what I mean? And then everyone's like, we believe that, and we will never stop believing that forever. Let's just go, you know, and that's what people do, you know? People are presented with crap information, propaganda. It's propaganda is what it is, right? People are provided with propaganda. And then they become emotionally invested in that, you know. And that's the thing. The people who believe that shit are dead. They're, you know, they're spiritually dead people. They'll believe any bullshit they're presented with, because it's all about they're part of that team of evil. You know, the foul spirits have their team of dead people that they use. And that's, you know, a lot of people. Okay? And so they have, I mean, think about it, you know. How many people in this world, you know, look at society. You can go, there are people who make the most absurd claims, and you present them logical arguments and facts. They don't hear it. They don't see it. They don't understand it. And you'll never get through to them. And why is that? Is it because they're stupid? Or is it because they're evil and they're selfish? Which one do you think's more likely? Yeah, what do you think it is? It's because they're evil. They don't want to know. They're selfish. They're only interested in what serves them. Okay? They want their friends. They want their girlfriends and boyfriends and fuck buddies. Yeah, they want that. They want their job, they want their status, they want their money, they want their comfort. Truth doesn't mean shit to them. Do you understand? They're dead. In their head, they're dead. And then you have people who think they know the truth, and they're like, I'm a truth speaker, I speak the truth. But then most people only see as far as the end of their nose. You know, they're only concerned about the truth when they are affected, okay, by lies. You know, when they realize that their life is being ruined, is being destroyed, because people are lying. People aren't speaking the truth, and they're like, I'm gonna speak the truth, and I'm gonna sort out this situation for myself. You know, that's the thing. You know, people want to use the truth. But you know, a lot of people are interested in the truth when it serves their best interest. Okay, you know, why would God care about you if that's who you are? You know, your intentions are clear. You know, people only care about the truth is only when it concerns them. I guess you could call it a stepping the right direction. Yeah. It might be a starting point for some people. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's generally how this works. People are sinners. People do bad shit. They lie to themselves. They delude themselves. Then bad shit happens to them, and then they have to, assess the situation. They have to learn truth. And, how far they get with that is another thing, right? It's people either, and that's the thing. Most people only want to, you look at most people who are on the right, people who are concerned about mass immigration, liberal politics, people who want to do all kinds of crazy stuff without really ever thinking about the consequences of their actions. It's easy to understand basic things. These are basic things that people understand. They're like, I'm a truth understander. I know that mass immigration's a terrible thing, and that's the thing. People, oh wow, what do you want? That's the thing. Yeah, that's basic stuff. And that's as far as most people go. And that's it. Like I explained in my previous video, people want their freedom of speech. They want their right to be able to express what they believe to be true. But the problem is, like I said, British people have denied that to other people as well. So then that's a problem. Okay. I'm specifically talking about Germany. Okay. If you genuinely believe that freedom of speech should be protected, then you have to start there. Okay? That's where you have to start. I think it's quite interesting, really, the situation, because, what was the situation, obviously, okay, so, think about it. Communism is evil, okay? Look what happened in Russia. Look what happened in Ukraine. Lenin, Stalin, okay? The gulags, tens of millions of people starving to death, executed. What did the Germans have a problem with? Communism. Communists, what are they good at? Propaganda. Okay? Who did the British fight on the side of? The communists. So yeah, because, Stalin, Winston Churchill, Roosevelt. Was it Roosevelt? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, was it? Yeah, whatever, right? Look, the point I'm trying to make is that people don't know their arse from their elbows. They don't have a fucking clue. They really don't know what's going on in this world. And that's the thing. Because people are only interested in the truth as far as it concerns them, then they miss out on all the other truth. They've missed out on tons and tons and tons and tons of truth, okay? Lots and lots of truth has gone totally unnoticed by people. And there lies the problem. People have not learnt. Those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it, okay? People don't know, people don't know who they've, people have formed alliances, with the enemy. That's the thing, right? People who are, you know, when that's the thing. People want to say that they're truth seekers and that they, and they like Christian values and they want to save the Christian values and Christendom and whatever, right? But don't really believe in God, and they've formed an alliance with evil people who don't have their best interests at heart. That's the thing. And people haven't recognized the truth yet. They're so stupid. People, you people have put yourselves on the path to destruction. Okay? I couldn't make it any. What more can I say? Huh? What more am I allowed to say? You know? The thing is that I've been there, I've done that. All before, way before you, bitch. Okay? So, my advice is what it is. I've explained. People will suffer until they love me. I'm the truth. So, people either do what's right or they do what's wrong. What more can I do? What more can I say? What the hell do I owe it? What the fuck do I owe people? Nothing, it would seem. I've tried so hard. To help people see the truth. People didn't want to know. Most people didn't have, yeah. I found out I'm God. What a situation to find myself in. In my previous videos, I explained that my uncle-in-law, Donald Neal, which is interesting, right? Because, I'm wearing this O'Neill t-shirt. The surfer it's a surfer, Donald Neal, I said that he was Abraham. And I said, he's a fan of Donald Trump. He's got, Donald Neal, he has a cat called Boris. That's the thing, right? The entire world, you look at all the what's going on in the world, it reflects the world, it reflects the world, my world. You see, this is one of the reasons I know who I am, is that the world is trying to be in my energy. It tries to copy things I do, things, places I go, things I think, things I say, things I listen to, whatever, right? The world is constantly trying to mimic me or be in my energy. The world is attracted to my energy. And so, because everyone is drawn towards my light, it creates a type of reflection. And I'm talking about magic, something you probably have no fucking idea about. You don't know anything about it, right? You have very little understanding of it. I try to explain it as best as I can, but yeah, it is what it is, right? Now, I think I was watching this documentary. It was a 60 minutes documentary, and it was Donald Trump's nephew called Fred. And he was talking about his Uncle Donald and what a piece of shit he is. So, what a nasty, individual he is, you know. Because that's the thing, right? Because Fred has a disabled son. And Donald doesn't want anything to do with him, you know. He's like, oh, let him die, you know, like, you know. And that's the thing, you know. The entire documentary is basically Fred saying that Donald Trump is a man who has no compassion. He's an asshole. And that's exactly how I view my uncle-in-law, Donald. He has zero compassion. You know, what was it that, so Donald Trump was quoted as saying, not my genes. Not my genes. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, you know, my uncle-in-law, Donald, I'm not blood related to him. So, you know, I'm not his genes. You understand? I'm not his genes. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, right? I was growing up. You know, my dad and my parents got divorced. So, and I was hanging around my cousins a lot and my uncle. And my uncle, you know, people would say, oh, is that your son? It's like, no, he's not my son. You'd always, you know, yeah, it's very interesting though. It's very interesting. I mean, that's the thing. It's all about his ego. It's his pride, you know, that's the thing. His ego and his pride is the most important thing to him. And that, you know, people who are like that, well, there's only one place for them: destruction. That's all that's going to happen. Okay. You know, I think it's really interesting. I was watching this video on YouTube yesterday, and it was, what was it? A channel called Prophet of Zod. And this guy talking about how the crucifixion of Jesus makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Like, why would God, you know, come down here and crucify himself to forgive everybody? Like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Well, think about it. Look, the world doesn't want to know the truth. If someone tells the truth, the world wants to murder them. Okay? I mean, that's what happened to me. You know, I came down to tell people the truth, knowing that people would want to kill me. Okay? And the thing is that you can see it. You know, look at half of, you know, go to in the USA or England, you know, almost half the population are scared to death of the truth. You know, they don't want to know the truth. They hate the truth. They have no interest in hearing the truth. They have no interest in it at all. In fact, they're doing the complete opposite. You know, they want the total opposite of the truth. They want lies. And they want, you know, the shit they believe is so absurd. It's crazy. You know, these people act like they belong in a mental institution, right? That's, you know, like, if people, you know, do you hear what I'm saying? That's the thing, you know, they are robotic, demonic, surrounded by foul spirits. You know, they're concerned about, you know, they want to have their friends. You know, that's the thing. If you have a group of friends and they all believe a certain thing, and, you know, if you then go against that, then you realize, you wake up the next day, you don't have any friends. You know, and people are scared. They're little bitch, you know, they're pussycats, you know, they're you know, well, you know what I'm saying. Oh, maybe not, but, you know, they have no balls. You know, they're cowards, okay? They're cowards. They cannot stomach the idea of telling the truth to themselves. They feel comfort in deluding themselves. And this is the thing, you know. That's the thing. I was talking about my uncle and the fact that, he's a cold-hearted, evil man. No, he has no compassion for those who suffer. He laughs it off. He'd rather think about something else, Compassion is for losers, apparently. It's funny how that's going to work out, though, isn't it? So when the day when people are judged and people are, people are being sent to their deaths, and then you're going to get down on your knees and be like, God, have some compassion for me, this compassionless piece of shit that I am. No, fuck yourself. Die. Okay? What more do you want? God, I gave you all the chance to get it right. You didn't do it. You fucked up. Yeah, fucked up. Yeah. Shitheads. What more can I say? People are going to understand that, look, the thing is that there are a lot of people in this world who are worthy of death and destruction. There's a reason why I don't talk to anybody. There's a reason why I want nothing to do with anybody. Because I see evil in them. I know they are evil. I hear it in their voices. I see it in the actions they do, day in, day out. I mean, this is the thing, we're, like I said in the video yesterday, I said, I talked about the analogy about the fishbowl and Christendom. So, in England and say, the USA. So in England, okay, people are like goldfish in a fishbowl, and the water is Christendom. It's the civilization that has been built by Christians, by those who loved God. But people are goldfish now. They don't care about God. They like the blessings, but they don't love God. They don't recognize God. And they don't want me. They don't really want me. Yeah, and that's the thing, people are, I mean, you can see the world being destroyed, bit by bit, every day. It's one more story, it's another story, it's one story after another, okay? That's what's happening. And people either change or they don't. I try, I spoke about things, I've spoken about things, and I kind of wish I could say more. But the thing is that people like to take away other people's freedom of speech, don't they? Even when they want their own freedom of speech protected at the same time. Well then, burn in hell. What more do you want? I mean, how are you going to talk about a group of people and say they're evil, they're this, they're that, and blah, 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 and you're going to say that to them while you've zipped their mouth shut so they can't talk? And then you're going to complain when other people do that to you. What more? How do I have to hit you in the head with a sledgehammer to get you to open your eyes, to hear what I'm saying? You know, isn't it strange how people want to see, you know, they'll say, oh, this is propaganda, but that wasn't propaganda. No, my ego. Oh, my ego. You can't say that. I mean, look. Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine, like, I think I've done it. You know, I've had conversations with people who are like, no, I can't accept that. No. My entire, you know, that's the thing, you know. It's like, you know how you know that game of Jenga, right? You know, you have the blocks you pull out. That's the thing, you know. What is your foundation? Is it your ego? Is it your pride? You know, is it, you know, it's all based on lies, okay? I mean, think about it. You know, you got so many people who are so full of themselves. You know, they believe that they're the greatest, the most amazing. You know, they want to think that they're so great and special. And the truth is that people want to believe that. People want to believe that because it makes them feel good. They want to believe it because it makes them feel good. Puts a smile on their faces, doesn't it? Yeah. And there lies the problem. You see? I mean, this is the thing, you know. When the Jenga tower, you know, it comes crumbling down, it falls down, right? You know, and this is what happens to a lot of, you know, this is kind of what happened to me, I suppose. You know, and that's what happens to a lot of people who do love me, who do love God, because, you know, there was a time, you know, they were built the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like they you know, you know, when people lie to themselves, they delude themselves. You know, they build their life based on their ego and lies and delusion. You know, and eventually what happens is, you know, something will come along at some point and it'll knock that down, and then, you know, they find God, and then God rebuilds them. You know, God builds them up to be better than that. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, that's what I'm trying to get this point across to you. Anyway, what else can I say, really? I've made so many videos, you know what I mean? Like, I've got hundreds of hours of videos. I share my journey. I share my daily thoughts with people through video, but nobody's really, you know, there's very little interest. So, but even if the people in physical bodies and the physical, you know, people who are in physical bodies aren't interested in me, well, the spiritual realm's very interested in me. I am the most interesting in terms of the spiritual realm. I'm God. It's hard to say it without sounding big-headed. It really is. It's hard to say without sounding big-headed, because it is what it is. All right. I've talked about this lots of times. I never expected to be here. I never expected to find out that I am God. But I am God. It is what it is. So, I explained that people who think their truth know it, they think they know the truth, or they have some kind of truth. All they have is a slither of truth. And what slithers? Oh yes, snake slithers, doesn't it? A slithery little snake. Yes, how it goes, isn't it? It's how it always fucking goes. Slithery little snakes. Well, good luck with that. You can't talk about that. You can't say that. That's not right. Blah, 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 blah. See, the thing is that people have been told so many lies and so much propaganda. And, when I first started discovering the truth, I realized that I had to question everything. You have to analyze everything. You have to look at everything again with fresh eyes. You have to look where perhaps you've been you have to think very carefully, very, very carefully about where there could be some kind of cover up. There could be there could have been some kind of propaganda, there could have been lies. Where is that truth? That should be your primary concern. Where's the truth? What is the truth? Where do you find that truth? It's very complicated. It's very complicated, but the whole point, everything I did was to try to bring people to the truth, to help people find the truth. I am the truth. People are very lost. Very lost. There's a very long distance between me and them. A very long distance. How are people supposed to get from where they are to me? Well, I can help. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help bridge the gap as best as I can, but I can only do so much to help. I'm doing everything I can to bridge that gap for you. I'm trying. Anyway, I need a smoke. I mean, that's the thing. I used to be a guy who would stand for the truth no matter what. I would tell it. I would tell it when everyone wanted me dead. That's how much I was prepared to stand in the truth. I am the truth. But I live in a world now that has no interest in that truth. They don't care. What's the point of me doing anything? What is the point of me telling you the truth if you won't hear it, if you reject it? What is the point? What was it Jesus said? Don't cast your pearls before swine. Look, the thing is that evil has no interest in the truth. Okay? Evil people don't want to hear it. And those evil people are going to destruction as I speak. Okay? That's happening. That has happened. It is happening. And it's an ongoing thing. It's happening. Right now. Today. Okay? Hello, world. Do you see me here? Can you see me? Can you hear me? You see, as time goes on, more and more people, it's already happening, people are realizing that the only hope they have left is me, is God. I'm the only one that can help them. I'm the only one who can get them. I'm the only one who can save them. See, those who really love truth, those who understand what it means, that's the thing. I'm Jesus. I'm God. I told people the truth, and I still tell people the truth. I died for the truth. I died to tell the truth. Most people aren't prepared for that. They're not prepared for that at all. They think they'll just keep their heads low. They'll let somebody else deal with the problem. Just go back to watching television or drinking alcohol or whatever, right? Why worry about it? You're only prepared to worry about it so much. There hasn't been enough. It hasn't been bad enough. You haven't been affected enough. That's the thing, it has to get worse. Things have to get worse. More destruction has to happen. The more destruction that happens, the more people who get saved. Essentially, because, the more destruction that happens, the more crazier stuff gets, the more people are likely to turn around and say, you know what, God, you were right. You knew it all along. I should have listened to you. That's where people are headed. That's where everything's going. Okay? trying to say, I'm trying to spell it out as best as I can. I said in my previous video yesterday, I said, so where in the Bible does it say Jesus is a brown man? Alright, you know what I mean? Like, where is it? Where is it? Where do you read that? It's interesting how people migrate, isn't it? Yeah, migration, 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 migration. My name's Grant. Yeah, migrant. I'm me, Grant. Anyway, so what, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here, but, what happened in Germany is now happening to British people, essentially. Well, it's very similar. It's very similar. There's similarities that people don't understand. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing about it. There are similarities. It's not exactly the same, but it's similar. It's similar enough that people should be concerned that they don't know enough about it. People should want to know more about it, really. Because it was a huge thing that happened, wasn't it? It was a, you know what I mean? 80 million people dead is no joke, is it? It's not a joke, is it? You would think that's a very important thing that happened. You certainly wouldn't want anything to get in the way of you knowing the truth about what really happened, would you? But what do people do? That's what they fucking do, don't they? They want to stop people from talking. And that's the thing, things are very complex, you cannot explain things in one sentence. You need to, there's a lot of things there are a lot of components to the truth. There are a lot of, you need to understand this and that and this and that, and then you can form, that's the thing. And the problem is that we live in a world that likes to label things. It likes to make snap judgments. It likes to censor. It likes to stop people talking. So, they want to make the world as evil, and it wants to stop a conversation before it starts. It wants to shut down the truth before it even gets one word out. That's the world we all live in. And those who claim to be truth seekers and truth tellers and truth knowers, the vast majority of them are their own worst enemies. And they don't even know it. They don't even realize it. Because they're too deaf, dumb, stupid, blind. They don't hear, they don't see. They see their egos, they see their pride. They see what makes them happy. That's what they see. That's what they hear. And that's it. Okay. So, that was my video for this morning. Will there be another video later? I don't know.